Alright, back again, part 2 on my little random video here. It is 10:06 on Thursday, December 29th, 2022. And I'm just playing my Pokemon game here and talking about YouTube and comment sections and all that stuff. And then, of course, you hit one button and ends your video and whatnot. So, and no, I don't know how to really edit and put this video into another and all that. I'd love to have someone be able to do that for me, someone that I knew and trust, preferably. Um, I don't want to spend money and all that kind of stuff, but if I had someone who would do it, I would appreciate it. But there's a lot of people that probably could help me that don't, and so I don't really even think too much about it. I'm just disappointed in it. It's just nothing new there. But I was basically just talking about how there was a guy who he was um he was basically commenting on a video that a guy covered how they were working on making some of the McDonald's places uh, not have employees and so on and so forth and all electronic, and how if you've known anything about me for many videos, I've talked about how bad that kind of stuff is, why that is, etc., etc. I've tried to lead people towards channels that explain that better, such as A Call for an Uprising, A Time for Judgment, A Time for Justice, all the same guy, multiple channels. You want to look that stuff up. He's got good stuff. It's going to be even possibly easier for you to understand than me rambling on, but this is what I do, so that's what I'm going to do. Came to mind, I'm going to probably say it. So, I'm always going to say the same things over and over. Like, when I know stuff and I believe something, that type deal, I'm going to push that direction. So, basically, my point was that this guy, at first, he was like, well, I don't have a problem with that, but yet he's on that kind of channel, like he's seeing videos that I am. So that's a good sign that he came across that. Whether he seeked that out or not, that's a good sign. Like, you physically saw stuff, and you have to see things to start to understand and whatnot. I understand that, so I'm glad to see that. And I was telling him basically people should have a problem with this, why, etc., etc. And I said, well, it's basically like the people who they choose to be offended over someone's free speech or whatever. Like, someone can say they hate me, they da 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 da, I'm this, that, and the other. Like, I really don't really take that too seriously. I don't really care. First of all, you got to consider the source. You're going online and you're trying to make fun of people in that type deal. First of all, it's pretty low. Second of all, even maybe more important, it's embarrassing. It's completely embarrassing that you're spending your time doing that. Like, the time you're doing that, you could be doing something better. That's what I'm trying to get at. So I think I'm going to put something on in the background here. I'm going to try to put my headphones on and that type deal. But yeah, that was pretty much the start of the video of what I'm doing type deal. I'm still just playing my Pokemon game, fighting through the Elite Four, my level 100 Mewtwo on the game here, which I believe this was Silent Castle, and it's kicking some massive amounts of ass right now. Excuse my language, but yeah, it's just destroying people. And I mean, not that I was expecting it not to, obviously, but it's just pretty cool how it's just one shot and everything. And that's one of the main things I've done playing Pokemon for years. Is I beat the game, and then if I have a level 100, I take a level 100 and just beat the crap out of it. So this one's called Boo 2. Great. And this Mewtwo's just beating the crap out of everybody. I'm fighting Sydney here, the Elite Four. You got the One Eye Symbolism Absol, Mega Absol going down to an Aura Sphere. See ya, bye. Yeah, get out of there. And the more I see on YouTube and whatnot, the more annoyed and whatnot I get. And it's very hard to find things online in general now for me that I actually enjoy doing or that I want to seek out and listen to. I don't really watch anything. listen to stuff. I have like all these playlists and stuff that, I mean, I have them, but I don't worry too much about them. I've got 3 or 4 different ones on here in my news section, the new videos that came out, and I'm just like, okay, that's pointless. That's stupid. That's filler content. For people that actually make money in all this and try to be somewhat serious, I find it kind of embarrassing that I don't really take it all that seriously, and yet I do as good or a better job than other people. And it's like I'm just looking through things and I want to put something on because I'd rather just put something on and listen to it um, than to basically um, be looking through stuff. Like I'm not really accomplishing anything. I'd rather just be listening. Okay. So right now I put on the top 100 competitive Pokemon 6th Gen X and Y by Relisify, and I believe Justin Flynn is the other guy's name. I like these videos. They do some stuff about that, like some of their competitive type Pokemon and whatnot. And I'm not really into the competitive battling and whatnot per se. I'm trying to understand it a little more. Like I understand it to a degree, but I don't like to put a whole lot of time into that kind of stuff because for many reasons. But one, it's unnecessary. I'm not a competitive player. I don't want money out of playing games. I don't want money from YouTube. I don't want all that stuff. But I do like to listen to opinions and that type deal and see, well, let me try to build a Pokemon like this. But I don't like the EV train. I don't like the IV train. I don't like all that stuff necessarily. But there's a lot of channels on there that go so in depth that I feel like they're almost a turn off to some other people. Like, I'm sure there's people out there like Silent Castle and I that are like kind of like, they're not like huge competitive battlers and whatnot, but they enjoy, they like to battle with their friends and beat through the games and whatnot, and they're interested to see what are some different strategies and whatnot. And I'm kind of just an information type addict type. I try to take in information and go for try to get what I can out of it, and so that's pretty much what I try to do. And I'm struggling here. It's like I like False Swipe Gaming and whatnot. He's real good at that, but he goes through and he makes a video that's like an hour long, and thankfully he's got timestamps and whatnot, which makes it easier. But like he goes into stuff that doesn't really interest me. So it's kind of hard to really support all of his stuff because it's just like, okay, you want one generation or whatever, and it's so long of content. It's like, oh, I tried to watch the Suicune video today because I'm working on Coliseum and whatnot. I'm trying to see, okay, maybe let's see what some options are for Suicune because I'm trying to build him a little more competitively on my Coliseum and whatnot. Not IVs and EVs and all that nonsense, but in a sense, it's a double battles game. I've beaten the game and whatnot, so I'm trying to just run through the game like I'm doing right now. Just run through Mount Battle and all that type deal, so I can collect the coins and I can buy TMs and like competitive items and whatnot easier, make it easier on myself. Makes sense. And I can move stuff around different games and so forth as time permits, and so forth. Um, but I just don't know why it's so difficult to find exactly what I'm looking for. I have a lot of channels and whatnot. It's like everyone kind of does the same thing. Like they have the same opinions. They have the same like. I want something original when I look for something. There's not a whole lot of originality to things. It's the same type of content. It's the same kind of thing. Like I think there's niches out there that aren't being touched upon from everything really in the YouTube community especially. The information out there. Like you can make things easier for people. you can kind of make things where the not so competitive person who's not real into the competitive battling can get something quick and easy and understandable explaining some Pokemon stuff and whatnot, instead of, okay, so Suicune's good at this, that. Okay, I can see he's good. He's pretty good defensively. He's a water type. I know its weaknesses, whatever. I just think there needs to be more options and whatnot and make it easier for people so it can appeal to everybody, from the top, the most hardcore type person to the people who aren't so competitive and whatnot. So that's just my little comment on that kind of stuff. And I was trying to watch the Verlisify thing, and I realized they were talking about Garbodor, and I wasn't really, I don't know if I didn't hear him or whatever, but me talking, and I got through the whole thing, and I'm just like, okay, I don't understand what the point was of that right now. It's almost like you got to put so much effort into it, and I'm willing to try to learn about as much as I can with Pokemon and all that kind of stuff with whatever time I'm willing to give. And these games that have unlimited TMs and whatnot make it easier. So I like to play through Generation 6 a lot. It's one of my more favorite ones, especially Omega and Alpha, at least post game. You don't need HMs as much, which, I mean, I don't understand why they should have got rid of HMs a long time ago. Like, they could have at least gotten rid of them by Generation 4, 5, 6, something. I think it was like Generation 7 when they stopped it. It's like, yeah, you could have done that a lot easier. Like, you could have done that sooner. I'm not complaining too much, but it's just, it's features that, just outdated features that could have been taken off and made things easier for people. Especially for, like, children and whatnot. They act like they try to make these games for children and whatnot, which is all fine and good. It makes the games way too easy, first of all. It's neither here nor there at the moment. But yet, then you're expecting them to carry around something with cut and strength and rock smash and defog and waterfall and surf and dive, and I think there's a couple others I missed I was thinking of. I don't know if I said rock climb, but there's so many different teams. Flash was a thing at the time. There's so many. Back then, you're playing a game that's pre-Generation 7. I could see how that would turn people off at any age, really. But especially to a child, they're like, now I'm kind of stuck. Like, especially with their attention span. Some people with poor attention spans are going to have trouble with that kind of stuff because they just want to play through the game. And it's like, oh, well, I made it this far in the game. And then you realize you don't have a Pokemon with cut. You can't catch a Pokemon with cut or whatever. You got to go all the way back. And then you got to get a cut Pokemon. Then you cut down the tree. Then you got to carry the thing and whatnot. I get it. Like, it's a little bit of an annoyance. Yeah, I will say that people complain too much about that kind of stuff too. But I'm trying to play both sides here. I'm trying to understand both sides, because it's easier to do that than, oh, you're just whining or whatever. Like, I understand, but don't whine about it. But it could be easier. I understand that mindset. So there's that. Before I started the video, I was kind of thinking, like, what can I kind of do to help people, um, like, maybe play Pokemon better, more enjoyably and whatnot. There's these things like Nuzlocke and stuff like that. I don't really personally like that kind of stuff, so if that's your thing, I guess that's your thing. It's not mine. I don't like it. I don't think I'm going to be doing any. The random thing is kind of cool. I've seen people that, um, they'll beat the game with like a random team. That's kind of cool. Um, Personally, I just like to use the Pokemon and know what I'm doing with, because I like to run through the games kind of quickly, and I'm okay with that. Especially post game. It's like I pretty much stick to my Mewtwo, Kyurem, Deoxys, guys I know what I'm doing with, and just start stomping everybody and leveling up my stuff. I've had the shiny charm, I've had the national dex on mini games. Like I'm just gonna keep going. Like just keep it going. I'd rather spend time doing that kind of stuff, doing the Pokédex and items and that kind of stuff than I am like EV training and oh, I don't know what people do, Nuzlocks and just random stuff that it's just not really that interesting to me. And then I really think it's stupid how a Nuzlocke, like I can understand the idea of Nuzlocks where you want to make it hard and whatnot, but if you're physically going without catching Pokemon that you should be catching and whatnot, that's kind of foolish. And if you're actually releasing Pokemon when they get knocked out, that's just ignorant. Like I can understand you make a rule that you have to put them back in the box, and that's what you do. Don't erase your crap just because it lost or whatever. You're wasting your time, first of all, and that's one of the things I think is really stupid. Like why would you erase stuff that you put in time? Like that's your own fault. It's literally it could be a never-ending cycle of failure. Why are you submitting to a never-ending cycle of failure? That's ignorant. So that's just my opinion on that stuff. And frankly, it's another thing that I say where it's like people do it because it's popular or they see it from someone else. It's not because they necessarily want to do it, or it's not like they came up with it themselves. It's just they're just doing it. But yeah. Um, let's see. Yeah, I want to do something like, for example, I like to like when I get to play Pokemon and stuff. I think it's a good chance to try to help people with that kind of thing, based on depending on if you're a more of a competitive player, you've been playing for 20 years like I have and so forth, or you're just playing for the first time. Some things you can do. Like I do a lot of the same stuff over and over again. Like Silent and I are both good at different things in the games. We have a lot of experience playing these games. We know certain things that work, certain things that don't work. Off the top of our heads, just throw out information for people. And that would be a good video, I think, that Silent and I should do. See, just sit down and go, this is what we're going to do. We're going to say things we know about the games and just throw it at you. And just kind of like a compilation of, okay, so here's how to get heart scales. It's a really important thing to do because once you get heart scales, you can use those heart scales to relearn moves that you missed out on. Whether you erased a move and you can't get it as a TM, for example, or you don't actually get the move because a lot of times when you evolve a Pokemon, it physically doesn't get certain moves based on how it evolves, or that it just physically doesn't allow you to get them because it'll have like Salamence learns, I think it's like Fire Fang at level 1. It's like it can't ever be level 1. Like that's ignorant. Like I don't understand. Like I get why they did it, but I mean they didn't have to. That's my point. And then I don't really do eggs and all that kind of stuff. And I also have so many different games. I'm moving stuff around, different things, trying to empty stuff out, and then I end up not knowing where things are and all that kind of stuff. And it's like I already have enough of those problems outside of Pokemon and stuff. I don't need to do all that, but yet I do it. So I guess it's just one of those deals. Um, so yeah, like I've been like when I'm running or whatever, I'm doing something, walking, I'm trying to play my game and whatnot. It doesn't take a whole lot of focus to play my Pokemon game. It's at least the old ones because it's not so much of a reactionary type, like, oh, I have to pay full attention to it. And I think that's one of the things I really like about Pokemon games is like you can just sit and kind of play it. You don't have to sit there and stare at the screen and whatnot. It's like it'll be there. And that's a nice little thing. It would be cool if there was an option where you could and couldn't. And I think that's part of the reason why the new games just aren't as appealing to me, because it's like it wants you to give a lot of attention to it, and I don't really like giving all my attention to it. I just want to hit a button, knock Pokemon out, okay? I just knocked out Mega Salamence. Clang just grew to level 48. I think he evolves either 48 or 49. So that's cool. Looking forward to that. Should definitely evolve before I beat Steven. And that's what I'm doing. So here we go. Oh, you pricks. Why didn't he just evolve at 48, dude? I just really want this thing to evolve, that's all. Because he's the last one to evolve. I guess I'll look it up. Because I'd rather just look it up than not. My dang phone and stuff is having a heck of a time charging. I don't get it. Okay, Clang evolution. Frankly, I'm not really focused on it right now like I should. Yeah, I get it. Evolution level. Because I've had it plugged in and it comes unplugged. Okay, it says 49. So we're going to go with that. I try to keep my, my brightness down, stuff off and whatnot. But I want to put something on in the background. Like, I've been talking this whole time. I've been wanting to put something on in the background to at least listen to. Dude, now it's down to 14% already. Dropped like 2 or 3%. Just stupid. Stop being stupid. Doesn't like to stay in. I've listened to so much music and stuff. It's like, ugh. Listen to music like sometimes 8-10 hours a day. It's like, okay, we get the point. Switch it up. Listen to the same songs and whatnot too, which doesn't make it easy. Stupid ass advice videos. I'm so sick and tired of them. I want to do a rant on those too, of all the different advice and all that type of stuff, because they're so inverted. They're so stupid. They're just like, oh, I'm just gonna say stuff that you're gonna agree with or whatever, not necessarily what's true. I want to know the truth. I don't want to know. I don't want fluff. Oh, good gosh. I just saved it. 66 hours and 6 minutes. Fuck. So, excuse my language. I apologize. Okay, I'm about to fight Steven here. And it's so hard to find stuff that really appeals to me. I have 3 or 4 main hobbies that I really do. And there's so much fluff. There's so much chalk. And whatnot. I don't really just want to list. There's certain things I don't want to watch right now because I'm just going to go off and rant about them. If I put on a call for an uprising, I'm going to go into rants and whatnot. It's going to be great, but it's like that's not what I'm going for right now. That's why I wish we could get Silent Castle on here. So if you can get Silent Castle to start doing stuff like that, that'd be awesome. I've really enjoyed hearing him, just whatever he has to say. He's got some funny ass stuff going on. Excuse my language again. But he's just like, it's just funny, like, listening to him. He gets so, like, I just want him to be himself on there. And I remember he did, like, some rants and stuff like that. I'm like, good. Like, I just want to hear your opinion. I like to hear people's opinions about stuff. Like, you're in the car, you're not doing anything else. Let's hear what you have to say. That's what I'm saying. People always have phones and all that pretty much at all times going on. They have all kinds of that stuff, and like, you might as well take advantage of your time and whatnot. And here I go getting up for the 3rd or 4th time now. Just about to sit down and lift my weight here. It's kind of been cold as shit here. Excuse my language. It's been very cold, and oh, that's why, because I didn't turn my dang thing down. I'm like, gosh, it's just humid. It just stays warm, and I turned my heaters down or off, I would think, because I barely even use the thing, so I barely know how to use them, frankly. But I'm like, why is it so hot? It just stays warm, and I don't like it. And I don't want to use my electricity, not too much here. I'm gonna open my windows, all the scrubs can see me. Get some light in and turn off my dang lights. Save some electricity. There we go. Because when I was starting, it was kind of still dark out. Like, yeah, won't hurt my eyes too much. Save some money on electricity and whatnot. I've got my stuff plugged in, all that kind of stuff. Got 2 switches charged. I was playing 2 different DSs and whatnot. I think I'm just gonna stick with the one for now. I'm gonna find something on the phone here and just put it on. I guess I'll probably put on a wrestling compilation video or whatever. Gosh, is it warm? I'd rather be cold than warm. I hate being overly warm like that. At least I say that now, right? Like, you don't know what you're gonna do in a situation until it happens. I think I was trying to listen to this video and it turned me off. For whatever reason. 3-hour video, you're gonna have that. It's not really the biggest interesting topic right now. I'll put it on. I put a bunch of comments down. Like, if I put comments down, can you at least like respond to them? Can you acknowledge them? I didn't need to say any of it. I didn't really care to, but I just thought it'd be, something to do. I listen to stuff that I don't necessarily know a whole lot about too. It's, of use to me. Well, there we go. It finally admitted it. It admitted that it's charging slowly because it's not the charger that I should be using. Because the charger I should be using is probably out in the car. I've got another charger here. I'll see if this one will still say charging slowly. But this is what I really do. Like, this is my this is my unscripted type crap. This is a lot of what takes up my time, is running from one place to the next, finding this charger, doing this and that, cleaning this and that, and get access to so forth. Okay. Please. You could make this work for me, I would appreciate it very much. It doesn't say charging slowly, it just says charging, so. There we go. Okay. Okay, so I beat Steven. Kind of goofy dudes. It used to be like this stuff used to be so much more interesting. It's like now it's how they talk is just so chalk and boring and so forth. It's like that's why I get turned off from it. Like, I still listen to a lot of stuff whether I even want to or not, overly, from hope and habit, but there's so many things that just aren't the same as they used to be, and they should be, and there's really no reason not to. Like, sometimes it's creative ideas and whatnot, but it's still not what it could be. And that's what I've always said for years. I've pretty much just been like, why can't we make these better? Why can't things just be better off? Type deal. I'm going to try to put this on. 29-minute video with multiple people talking, and as long as they give some good stuff going on, and they each take their turn talking without interrupting each other and whatnot, it'll make for a good video, hopefully. And I also like to see what other people are talking about and whatnot as an inspiration to try different ideas for me, because there's so many different things that I could do. I might as well take advantage of it. Try to lift my weight here while I'm doing this. Okay. So, I've got Steven done, and now I'm trying to see what I'm going to do. Probably just keep battling the Elite Four, I guess. I'll tell you what, the dang eggs and stuff are having a heck of a time. I actually probably should go on X and Y and go catch a bunch of dittos, because I get tired of not having dittos, and I don't understand how I don't. Because I don't try to put them all on one game or whatnot, and it's like, if I see a ditto, I'm catching that thing. Right? Like, why would I not? It's one of the, like, most important characters to have in the game. So, I'm going to try to maybe catch some dittos, so I can trade some, at least one. Because there's two daycares in Omega and Alpha. Good. Now, I think that's Musharna finally gave its egg. Freaking game, dude. Not trying to complain. It's just like, why is it taking so long to make eggs? Like, sometimes they take way too long, and it doesn't need to take that long, so don't take that long. Simple enough of an explanation, I would think. Because I'm trying to make evolutions and eggs, so let's do that, right? Like, it's easier on me if it's easier. Easy things are easy. Okay, so I'm trying to get the Munna egg. I believe it's Munna egg. Get that out, refill back up, put something new in there, and start making more eggs. It is a Musharna egg, and it grew a level. That shows how long it's been in there. If it's grown a level and it's level 30s, it's been in there a little while. I've done a lot of movement during that time. Okay, so I'm looking up if I can make an egg of Duosian, or if I just need to evolve it. And I also, like, if you haven't realized, I multitask like crazy, but I also put things on 2x speed a lot of times, so I get through a lot. So I don't need a Solosis. I do need a Gothita, though. And a Gothitelle on here. I'm missing approximately 200 to 250 Pokemon on here for the National Dex. So I'm trying to get a little bit closer, at least, very least. Yep, Gothorita. I'll make a Gothorita egg. Dang, this thing just loop itself? I have Pokemon Y starting up, and I haven't gotten around to skip the thing, and it almost looked like it looped itself. That's kind of cool. Oh, if you don't press start, maybe it just sits there and does that. That's kind of cool, I guess. Hmm. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw a bunch of these Pokemon. I'm gonna throw them in there and see if I can go fight the Elite Four, I guess. All that. Another little mild complaint or whatever I have about X and Y, which, I mean, there's some things I could say about X and Y that they could have done better on, for sure. But one of them is going to be, after you beat the Elite Four, you have to go through the forest again unless you carry something with Fly. So I got to keep doing that when I'm going back and catching all the Scatterbug, Fletchling, all those. And I don't have to go to that route, but it gives me the best chance of catching the Pokemon quickly with the least amount of balls. So I figured that would be a decent idea. So that's what I've been trying to do. So I'm still trying to go out and probably catch some Dittos. The dang forest. That forest is a struggle at times. I guess I could try to evolve into Leafeon while I'm there if I have Eevee. I believe that's where you can get it. I'm just catching these Pokemon on the way here. And I'm fighting the Elite Four in the other game. I like how these guys used to talk. Now it's so sanitized and whatnot. It's so sensitive. You know, it's just weakened on here. Back then, these guys said some crazy stuff and whatnot. And then it's like they're around other people and they weaken themselves down. Like they don't talk like they used to. That was more entertaining. It's funnier. It's more honest. I'm not saying be a complete scumbag and whatnot, but I'm saying you should at least like talk how you actually talk and don't become sounding weak and whatnot. I guess people probably think that I do that myself. I choose to do that. It's not I do it because for any other reason. I just because I want to talk a certain way. Not just like, oh, I'm gonna fit in with society and that type of deal. Like, no, I'm good. I'm good on that. I think we're long past that at this point. This box out of the way here. That'll do. That'll let more light in here. Okay. So I've got Pharaoh Seed or Frost Seed. I don't really care why it matters. The language, the dang pronunciation. And we have Loudness around. Or loud for no reason. Shocker. And they changed Feint Attack to FAI to FEI. Because there used to be a move called Feint. And then they changed Feint Attack to EI, like how Feint used to be. It's kind of weird. Never really used that move too much. I remember there used to be a move I used to play on, I think it was 64 or something. It was like the move did, at least the animation, like showed every Pokemon in your party attacking the opponent. It was actually kind of hilarious when you think about it. So I do have an Eevee on here. So many topics to talk about and whatnot. It's like my mind just, you know, goes. It just keeps on going. Okay. Yikes. Yeah, I'm flying over to that area right now, trying to get me some Dittos. Say, might as well, right? Freaking Pokemon Village, dude. You got a Snorlax there, Gothoritas, I think Zoroark's there. Zoroark's there. He's a pretty good guy to catch. I just like catching. I like catching stuff, so why not? Now, do I have enough Pokeballs and stuff? 86 Ultra Balls. I like to have a lot more than 86 Ultra Balls if at all possible. Ooh, $200,000? That means at least 100,000 of those dollars I don't need. Because I'll buy some items and stuff. Dang, there's a lot of different balls you can buy. Quick balls. Really? You can't even give me a Premier Ball? Prick. Excuse my language. They really, like, I'm trying to buy Pokeballs, and you can't even give me a dang. You can't even give me a Premier Ball for buying these. Quick balls are nice to have. Timer balls I'm not going to use as much. Repeat balls, maybe. Dusk ball, sure. I'll get some dusk balls, some quick balls. There goes $100,000 real quickly. That's pretty wild to even say something like that. Dittos, they got the thing. Ending area. Oh, here's an item that wasn't picked up, so that's a nice thing. That's just Paralyzed Heal. I'm sorry for any dead air or whatnot. It just is what it... Ooh! Right here's where I need to get the Eevee to evolve. I'm trying to get my Eevees to evolve here real quickly. Get a couple Leafeons here. I had the Soothe Bell on it, and I was going to go for Espeon or Umbreon or Sylveon, but I'm just like, whatever. And I barely use Sylveon to this day. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, we got a Trevenant. Level 50. I don't have him on the game, so I'd like to catch him. Why not? All I have is grass moves. Oh, well, at least it knocked out. Oh, Destiny Bond, you scrub. I mean, that's a pretty good move, though. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not good. So I shouldn't say scrub, I should say annoying. Eevee's trying to refresh. Sure. You're gonna get me started on something here, game. So I should have Leafeon. You're just fighting Sydney here. You got Shiftry, one shot knockout. Same old, same old. And Eevee's just learning moves and whatnot because I just knocked out a level 50. So my level 9 is going to take a little bit of time here. Okay, now I should be getting 2 Leafeons. Or, that's not Eevee. Level up, that's Torchic. And Torchic should evolve, and that's a speed boost Torchic too. So I want to make a bunch of eggs of that thing. Because that is broken. Like, I don't know too much about competitive, but I know that thing is broken with speed boost. And that was an event one, so like if I can make eggs of it, why would I not? Probably should have nicknamed Trevenant, but I didn't, so. Okay. I'm okay with just the one Eevee evolving anyways. I didn't really need 2 Leafeons. I'm just listening to this here, doing all that. I'm trying to not talk about some other stuff right now. I'm trying to keep it more like Pokemon. Oh, I guess both my Eevees are evolving. That's fine. 2 out of the way. Stupid marketing, dude. Sign up for our thing and spend money. Sorry, I got a text message and I was reading it. I probably went silent there. I think maybe it's probably time to just cut the video. It's like a 52-minute video. I appreciate you guys sticking it out. You know, like I always say, you can fast forward, rewind. It's on demand. You got 2x speed. I recommend taking advantage of that. It's easier than complaining about things. So, you know, I'm just kind of doing my thing. I feel like I want to really think about what I want to say and so forth before I say it. I don't really like having dead air too much, but I know I do at times. Like, I have plenty to say, it's just like, sometimes it's hard to talk for hours at a time, too. Give yourself a little bit of a break. But, yeah, thank you guys for checking it out, regardless. You guys have a good day. I love you. Bye.